You are watching QTV broadcasting from the Gambia, and this is the news with me, Mariette Sidibe. Coming up in our headlines, President Barrow holds talks with new ambassadors of Poland and Vatican as the duo present their letters of credence. There is a growing demand for the free education to be extended to tertiary level education. And the fire outbreak in Talinding causes havoc to affected victims. Those were our headlines, and now the news in detail. A press release from the Office of the President informs the public that His Excellency President Adama Barrow, acting under Section 76 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, is pleased to declare Tuesday, 20th November 2018 as a public holiday throughout the Gambia in observance of the Muslim feast of Maulud Nabi. The holiday, according to a press release from the presidency, is in honor of the celebration of the birth of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. His birthday is commemorated by many Muslims around the world with recitations of the Holy Quran, religious songs, and preachings about his life. President Barrow wishes to take this opportunity to wish the Muslim community in the Gambia and beyond a blessed holiday, the release concluded. To another press release, the Security Sector Reform Project, under the auspices of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, wishes to duly inform the public, particularly invitees to the National Security Policy validation, that there has been a change in the venue of the event. Instead of Senegambia Beach Hotel, as earlier communicated, the event will now hold at Corinthia Atlantic Hotel on Thursday, 22nd of November 2018. The public is hereby urged to take note of these adjustments and respond accordingly. President Adama Barrow continues to receive credentials from ambassadors accredited to the Gambia from around the world. The latest to present their letters of credence to the President at State House on Monday were Her Excellency Margarita Kasangana of Poland and His Excellency Campos Salas of Vatican City. The two ambassadors will be based in Dakar, Senegal. QTV's Aliou Cissé was at the State House in Banjul, where both ambassadors spoke to waiting reporters shortly after separate closed-door meetings with the Gambian leader.
As you see, the state of relations is very good. I had the opportunity to present my credentials to His Excellency President Barrow this morning, and we had a very good conversation about our long-time relationship and what we can still do together, and in this moment of transformation for the Gambia. As you know, Poland also go through the transformation many years ago, almost 30 years ago. We have experience, we know how to do it, and we're ready to share our experience also with the Gambia.
What are the areas that you think Poland can partner with Gambia?
Well, there are many areas of cooperation. Let's say, building the democratic institutions, doing the reform of the administration, but also many business opportunities.
It's just a very pleasure to be here. It's my pleasure, and to present the credential letter to the President of the Gambia. We have a very good relationship and a very good diplomatic relations, because we are together and working together for the society, for the nation, for the people, and the role that the religions has in any country, and especially in this country. So we are working together.
What was the main focus of your discussion with the President?
The important thing is the good relation that we are taking in this moment, and we're having in this moment, is a very good relationship and a very good collaboration between the different, the Catholic Church and the government and the society in the Gambia.
The free basic secondary education in public schools in the Gambia has eased the burden on many parents, especially those living in the rural areas, having to pay for their children's school fees and feeding them at the same time. However, there is growing demand for the free education to be extended to tertiary level education. Momodu Gajaga reports.
Kawur and Buduk communities in the Central River region are more bothered by the high cost of paying for tuition at tertiary level of education. They are demanding for a provision in the new constitution that will guarantee the rights to education up to tertiary level for free. Jibril Ba, a parent, talks about the challenges involved in thinking about what to feed on and paying for school fees for your children. There are parents who can't even feed their families for the whole year. How can they pay school fees for their children from basic to tertiary level? So government should be paying for the students. It simply means parents who are well off will send their children to school while the underprivileged won't go to school at all. Mamudu Ba, a student of Buduk Basic Cycle School, urged for a free education up to tertiary level to be introduced by the authorities as a way of helping to ease the huge burden on their parents.
I want to talk about education. Free education from primary to university. Free education should be put in place because some parents don't have the money. They should be helped by the government.
Despite the need for free education, others are more concerned by access to healthcare. The healthcare system in this country is very poor. Shortage of medication, lack of capacity, and poor road networks in the rural areas are some of the most pressing issues faced by the health sector. When you go to the health center, you buy your ticket for $25. After queuing for several hours, when it's your turn, all the necessary tests will be done. But there is always a shortage of medicine. Unfortunately, the pharmacies have been closed in this community. We are really suffering. The authorities should either supply medicines at the health center or allow the pharmacies to operate. The lack of medication will result into deaths. Amudu Gajaga, QTV News.
A severe fire outbreak on Sunday evening has caused havoc to a compound in Talinding. The inferno consumed the entire properties, leaving the occupants in a worrisome condition. The cause of the fire could not be established. Omar P. Jallo visited the scene and spoke to some of the victims who are appealing for support.
It started around between the hour of 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the evening. You know, I was sitting here having a visitor. We were chatting. As we were chatting, I smelled something and I told the person that maybe there is a electric problem here. I'm smelling something. So I just get up from where I was sitting. I went to where I plugged my phones. I smelled, but there was nothing wrong there. Later, my wife went out, and then he saw the flame coming out from the next door, and then he shouted that there's a flame in the next house. So I just ran out and then see that the place was full of fire. So I tried to run back to my house to rescue some of my things in the house, but unfortunately the fire was already in the house, so I couldn't take anything out. That's exactly what happened.
You mean everything was burned down to us?
Yes, everything was burned down to us. We have nothing left with us now.
Did you contact the fire service?
They came, but before they came, the flame was already up and people were helping. They came, they tried to, also put this fire up, but unfortunately, their water was finished, so they had to go back. Before they come back again, everything was burned down.
I
was supposed to travel to Senegal today for a business trip, but all my business money and everything else in our house has been burned. I am appealing to the government, NGOs and philanthropists to help us in any way they can.
Nobody knows what exactly caused the fire. So then, we came in, tried to get inside, but then all the doors were locked, and then that makes it very, very difficult for us to get inside, and then along the way the fire is just, it's just coming up more forceful, and then we definitely couldn't stand it. And actually the neighbors, they were very helpful. They come in large forces, and then definitely they did their best that they could to support us. But then there's something that is very inevitable, and then they couldn't do anything.
Medical doctors from Medanta Medical Hospital in India have arrived in the Gambia on a 2-day outpatient medical camp at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul. The purpose is to perform free medical treatment in patients. Babkar Sise tells us more.
In her welcome remarks, the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Honorable Dr. Aissatou Toure, says the 3 doctors are here in fulfillment of a memorandum of understanding signed a few years ago between the Ministry of Health and Medanta Medical Hospital. She therefore thanked the doctors for honoring the MOU. Dr. Keba S. Marena, consultant surgeon, trauma and orthopedics at Edward Francis Teaching Hospital, explains the purpose of the visit.
So these doctors have come from one of the private hospitals in India. They have received Gambian patients in the past through partnership with the Ministry of Health. And the idea is to now try and see how they can do more of an outreach. So this is a pilot visit to come to this hospital to see how they can firstly see some patients here, and then also have a chance to assess our situation and see how we could have more collaboration and partnership in the future. That maybe they may be able to send some doctors for missions like this, but also to do some surgeries and bigger clinics. So this is just, in a way, it's like a trial to see how we'll be able to manage in the future between the 2 hospitals. And then maybe even branching out to further hospitals rather than just Edward Francis Small.
After a conducted tour of Edward Francis Teaching Hospital, Dr. Kranjit Singh Narang, a neurosurgeon, explains the medical conditions they specialize in treating.
So there will be a lot of degenerative cases that I can see around, people walking with pains in the back and pains in the knees. So that does require a bit of specialization. I do a lot of minimally invasive spine surgeries for the spinal degenerative disorders. But I talk to the doctors over here, and the problem is getting an implant in this country is an issue. But what happens in old age is the patient may have a pain, but he would also have other diseases like cardiac diseases, kidney diseases. So you require a setup where you can do everything. We are lucky to have that setup in Medanta, where we have all the specializations under one roof. We can do it, and we can help them set up on the similar lines over here. Plus, we do have a big oncology setup where we do a lot of brain tumors and spinal tumors, and then follow up with radiation over there and rehabilitation, and a lot of imaging, PET scans, MRIs. So a lot of infrastructure requirement is there, and what all cannot be done, we can advise them and give them an option of coming to our country also.
Mohammed Khatib Asi, Senior Manager, International Patient Services, says there will be training and educational package for Gambian medical doctors in the near future.
So we welcome the Gambians from the medical fraternity to come to Medanta, to India, to have their fellowships and observership. So observership would be a short-term course wherein, a specialist can upgrade for a period of 2 to 3 months, as well as a fellowship can be for a longer period of time, for 1 to 2 years. And as a part of, our relationship, all the fellowship, observerships to the medical fraternity is complementary. So is a part of the, we will be, happy to have a MOU where we would be, having those fellowship and observership complementary. We, the doctors, the nurses, the technicians then come over to the Medanta and can have their trainings.
The doctors are conducting a free treatment in heart, kidney, stroke, and other related medical conditions on Monday and Tuesday. Anyone with such conditions is urged to report to Edward Francis Teaching Hospital between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Babakar Sise for QTV News.
Before we end this bulletin, we recap our main headlines. President Adama Barrow continues to receive credentials from ambassadors accredited to the Gambia from around the world. The latest to present their letters of credence to the President at State House on Monday were Her Excellency Margarita Kasangana of Poland and His Excellency Campos Salas of Vatican City. The 2 ambassadors will be based in Dakar, Senegal. The free basic secondary education in public schools in the Gambia has eased the burden on many parents, especially those living in the rural areas, having to pay for their children's school fees and feeding them at the same time. However, there is a growing demand for the free education to be extended to tertiary level education. And a severe fire outbreak on Sunday evening has caused havoc to a compound in Talinding. The inferno leaves the affected occupants in a worrisome condition. The cause of the fire could not be established. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news.